If you know me, I'm always on the hunt for hacks, tips, tricks, systems, and habits to make life easier. As I consider ideas to implement, they have to be simple, sustainable, and smart to pass my test. I'm going to cover 7 hacks for the kitchen, 3 cleaning tips, nothing revolutionary, but ideas that just work in our home. You're getting a deal today because I'm teaming up with someone who thinks super practically and is all about sustainable systems and hacks to simplify. My friend Wendy from Plan Prep Pray, who I just love. I just love you, Wendy. She is also going to let you guys in on her go-to strategy moves. I gotta be honest, I'm absolutely thrilled to work with her again. She has planners that she offers. I'm gonna link those below along with her video, so be sure and check that out. In our house, we have the one dish policy. Each child has their own color of plate, bowl, and cup, and they are responsible for washing them after every meal. So if they sit down to eat and they don't have a plate, then, well, they gotta go wash their dish. We did this because our dirty dish situation was out of control, because every dish that was used for meal and snack and food prep or whatever, it added up and we were running so many loads of dishes every day. This method has really helped minimize the dishes piling because they are using the same ones over and over and they're washing them themselves versus getting a new one out every time they use a dish and then they're stacking them by the sink. So it eliminates that issue. Having the cups color coded as well also helps with minimizing the 500 cups that are being used any given day. We have a place on the counter to place their colored cup or their water bottle, as those are not washed every mealtime, and having that designated place keeps everything contained and easily found. Keeping breakfasts and lunch and snacks simple for me and simple enough for the kids to do themselves is a hack that saves so much time and effort. I want minimal prep on my end, simple cleanup, and easy enough for the kids to join me or to prepare themselves. You know, with all the plates that we have spinning on any given homeschool day, this is one area that I work really, really hard to simplify things just to help our day run smoothly, to where when I stop to go make those lunches, there's just a minimal interruption to our day. I'm gonna have a whole video on quick and easy lunches for busy moms, so be on the lookout with that. Keeping up on the dishes and the kitchen multiple times a day can feel a bit daunting. Including everyone in the cleaning up and being sure to clean up after every meal is a solution that has worked so well for us. Each of the family members have a kitchen cleanup job, and they keep this job until they have either mastered it or we are ready to switch things up. So each child has the same job every day after every meal. I'll link a video below of how this looks in our home that might be helpful. This is when their one dish is washed and then put away. We even include the little ones on this, and their jobs can look anything like pushing chairs in, to putting the hot pads away and back in the drawer, maybe condiments back into the refrigerator. This one is a double win because it keeps the little ones busy and it sets the expectation that we always clean up after we eat, and then they will follow suit because that's just what we do. It becomes so much easier to train those habits with those little ones because they are imitating the older ones and familiar with this routine as they get older. I'm also going to link a video on how we teach chores. This is a really good tool to help get chores started in your home. It may be a good resource for you. I shared about the one dish policy in our home, but there are times when I just go with the paper plates. If we don't have time to, clean up the kitchen, or it's a really full day, or I just don't want to mess with managing a kitchen cleanup, then we go the simple route and we go with the good old paper plates. I know sometimes we just need permission to give ourselves a break, so pull out those paper plates. That's another hack that I like to use. Easy one pot meals is another hack that I like to use to keep mealtime easy. I would just look up sheet pan recipes or one pot meals. I'll also link a recipe book that I like to use as well. Mealtime charts. They are going to keep your little ones in check. I'm going to link the video that goes into more detail below, but basically we made a chart for each of the little ones with the expectations for mealtime. We go over each expectation prior to eating, and we'll put a chocolate chip or a coin or a raisin or just some small treat next to each of those, and as we go down the list, we're placing those on there. At the end of the meal, whatever they have left, they get to keep. They can eat it or save it until later. This is a really fun incentive for teaching table manners. Each of the child's mealtime charts are different because, let's face it, Some kids need to be reminded not to get on the table, while others need to practice chewing with their mouth closed or asking for things rather than grabbing. This tool has really helped with the mealtime craziness. Let's talk about cleaning. Well, don't do it alone. Even for those of us with only little ones, this concept applies to you as well. Now, I can almost guarantee that you have the tools that you need to tackle tasks with a little bit of help. Just think outside the box on this one first. For those of us with toddlers running around, take advantage of bath time and wipe down the bathroom while they are contained and content. And on that same thread, incorporating room time or table time to occupy the little so that you can get things done is a hack that I have used for years when I just need to get things done. We would use a pack and play, that's a tool for the littles during room time, or a high chair, that's a tool to introduce table time, keeping them busy. This is a strategy move that I used daily when they were little and always needed the eyes on. I would even pull a pack and play into the middle of the room where I was working, and that way I could keep my eyes on them. I knew that they were safe, and I could get some things done hands-free. Do you see how you're not doing this alone? Utilizing those tools that we already have, but maybe in a new way. The bathtub, the pack and play, the high chair. I'm gonna link some toys and activities below just to kind of give you some ideas of what we like to rotate during that time. For those with older ones, prepare them now to be able and capable adults. Equip them for life by teaching and training chores now, and the value of contributing to the family unit. Each of our older children have designated rooms or spaces that they are responsible for maintaining. We have a specific time every day when everyone breaks off and they work in their own specific areas. I will be sure and have the video linked of how we train and teach chores if you're needing some inspiration. And for those of you with little ones, I really hope that this gives you some peace of mind. You will not always have to be the one and the only one cleaning. Now, this hack is going to take a little bit of forethought, but the benefits are so worth it. This will make your cleanup times quicker, simpler, and keep order all at the same time. Creating space for all the things in your home means that when your kids go to put away their shoes, there is a known designated spot. When craft time is over, those crafts have a home. This could be a shelf, a closet, under a bed, in the garage, or even a cabinet. Oftentimes, the clutter that we refer to is really the useful things that we use in our everyday. But if we don't have a place for it, then it does become clutter and the mess grows. This does take some effort to think about where the best placement is for these items. But once I created a specific spot for our resources and toys and games and all the things that we need to make our home function, then our pickup times were very, very cut and dry. Everyone knows where everything goes. Okay, so besides the cleaning and the kitchen hacks that I want to share today, I also wanted to address the value in being kind to yourself and give some ideas on what that could even look like. Okay, you have to give yourself consistent moments to come up for air. And when you do this consistently, it will not be out of desperation, but out of a proactive approach. You can create the stillness in your day, stillness for you and stillness for your children. It's really easy for everyone to think that it is mom's job to occupy and entertain and to fix everything. But this is not only draining, but it's not sustainable. Utilize nap times, and if they don't nap, set up a quiet time or two in your day. We have one in the morning and one in the afternoon. This is so healthy. Everyone learns to play, read, rest independently, and you can anticipate the moments of stillness. Knowing that I have designated times in the day planned in helps me to breathe. It feels like I can make it through the next stretch in between. Proverbs 16:9 says, "The mind of a person plans his way, but the Lord directs his steps." Here's what I do with that verse. There can be so much frustration with our thought out, perfectly laid out, intentional plans when they get sabotaged, or at least that's what it feels like. Yes, our plans for the day can be disrupted, but what if we needed that disruption to keep us from missing out and being distracted from the true agenda of the day? Only God knows what he is accomplishing, but when we trust him, we can rest in the adapting that ends up happening. This happens to all of us. It's not a matter of not planning well or not being a planner. It's a matter of, what will I do with this opportunity that I am now presented with? Action-wise, I sometimes have to have a delayed response and take a breath or two. If it's a behavior issue, like one that puts a stop to the flow of the day, just saying, maybe it puts a stop to the assignment or chores. Most of the time, an immediate response from me is not needed or beneficial. I don't have to respond at that exact second with the exact right words. Now, it doesn't feel like I should keep my mouth shut, but oftentimes if I try to say the right thing, it's usually not coming from the best place, and it's said harshly and probably isn't the right thing. When it's obvious that our plans are going to need to be adjusted, I will just take a moment to just collect my thoughts. I will get everyone in a good place, meaning the little ones are occupied and the one causing the issue is redirected, even if it means not carrying through with whatever was at hand, like a lesson or a chore or a task. Then I'm going to do something to help keep me in a healthy place. I will go to my room and just sit and breathe. I will take a walk up and down the driveway. I'll listen to music, or I'll just read. Everything comes to a halt. There is definitely an abrupt stop to the flow of the day, which is beyond irritating, especially when you've worked really hard to make a good routine. But it is likely that I am not going to say anything at that exact moment to remedy things. So my goal is to make sure that I am handling the situation well, that everyone is redirected and the issue can be addressed at a later time when emotions aren't as high. I'm telling you this because most likely this was not an issue of failure on my end to plan well. It is most likely an opportunity to address some underlying issues with one of our children, and this is just the way that it is being brought to our attention. Please share with me if you have incorporated any of the things that I shared today, or what you did to tweak it to just make it work for you. That video on how we teach chores in our home is right here, and be sure and go over and watch Wendy's video that is linked below. Chat with you later. Bye.